All right, let's jump right into this one. We're looking at the Key Digital KD-PROCL4 today.
The Compass control license, yeah.
Exactly. But here's what really, what really got my attention. The price. We're talking $1,980 for a software license to run an app on your phone or your tablet.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of sticker shock if you're thinking of it like something from the App Store.
That's putting it mildly. Usually these control apps are, free add-ons when you buy the expensive hardware.
Right.
So the mission for this deep dive is, well, it's simple. Why does this software cost nearly $2,000? What is it actually doing?
And to get that, you have to sort of rewire how you think about the system architecture.
How so?
Well, in a typical pro setup, think of big restaurant or a corporate boardroom. The brain is some black box in a server rack.
A proprietary processor.
Exactly. And your iPad is just a pretty screen, a dumb terminal sending commands to that main box.
So the iPad is the remote, the rack unit is the computer. Simple.
Key Digital just flips that whole model on its head. With Compass Control, the iPad is the computer. It is the processor.
Wait, really?
It's not just sending a turn-on signal. It's running the logic, the macros, everything. You're paying for a license that turns a regular consumer device into the actual backbone of the system.
Backbone feels like a heavy word for a device I also, use to order a pizza.
It is. But that's the whole value proposition. You're replacing thousands of dollars in dedicated hardware with a tablet. But because it's now the core of the system, the licensing has to be much more robust.
I saw that in the notes. It mentioned marrying the license to the device ID of the unit.
Correct. So you're not just buying a password you can use on any device. You are tying that nearly $2,000 license to the specific silicon in that one iPad.
That sounds risky.
And
if my server is an iPad and I drop it down a flight of stairs.
You'd think so. But the license is transferable. That's the key for enterprise use. If a unit breaks, the installer can just revoke the license from the old ID and reassign it to a new one.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's secure, but it's not a trap.
Precisely.
But what about the actual programming? If the tablet is the brain and it dies, is all that custom code just gone?
That's where the cloud comes in. The license includes project storage on the Compass Control Cloud, so the installer can just grab a new iPad and pull the entire project down in minutes.
Speaking of installers, this is obviously not a DIY product. The source material mentions the Compass Navigator PC editor for building the interfaces.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really powerful for the professionals. Because it's software-defined, you're not stuck with some cookie-cutter template. You can build completely unique interfaces for different devices.
So, like, the CEO's main iPad could have controls for the entire building.
Full God mode.
While the little Android tablet mounted on the wall in the lobby can only control the lights and music in that one room.
Exactly that. Same project, but a totally different tailored user experience. But, and this is a big but, you really need to know what you're doing.
I saw it requires a C1 certification.
It's basically quality control. If your entire facility is running on this system, you need someone who's been properly trained to set it up.
Okay, that brings us to actually buying it. We pulled this from HDTVSupply, and when you're talking about software as infrastructure, my first thought is support.
Who do you call when the brain freezes up?
Right.
And that seems to be HDTVSupply's angle here. They bundle in what they're calling Wolfpack support.
833 Wolfpack. It's a catchy number, I'll give them that.
It is, but the key word in their offer is lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifetime telephone tech support. For an integrator, that's huge. That saves so much time and money on troubleshooting down the line.
And they also play with the warranty, don't they?
They do. Key Digital's standard warranty is 3 years. HDTVSupply bumps that up to 5 years at no extra cost.
And I saw that 10% discount code in there, 10% off.
Right. So when you put it all together, you're getting the software for less, but with a much bigger safety net around it. That extended support and warranty really matter when you're betting a system on it.
So to zoom out, what we're really looking at is a bridge. On one side, you have cheap, incredibly powerful consumer hardware. On the other, you have the demands of professional-grade control. This license, it's the glue.
It forces you to ask a really fundamental question about the industry.
Right.
Why would you buy a $3,000 dedicated black box controller
Right.
when the tablet already in your bag is probably 10 times faster and has a better screen?
And that really is the question. If software like Compass Control proves to be stable and secure enough for the enterprise, are we watching the slow death of the proprietary hardware controller? Or will people always want that blinking black box in the rack for peace of mind? Something to think about.